Hi guys! Okay, so you asked, and here we go. We're going to do a tutorial. This is my daughter, Ashlyn. She is 20 years old, a beautiful strawberry blonde with big blue eyes and these amazing eyes that I'm going to decorate for you to see. So a lot of chatter has been on the group page about a smoky eye. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start with a natural everyday look, and then I'm going to intensify it and show you how to take it from daytime to nighttime all in the same tutorial. So I'm going to show you everything that I'd use as I go along, but I'll be in and out of the picture to grab all of my stuff. And then because I'm using my computer as a camera, there will be times where I'm going to work on Ashlyn and you're not going to be able to see so well, but then I'll have her lean towards you so you can really see what I'm doing. So first step is Glorious. This is the primer, and I'm going to use a tiny, tiny little drop. And I'll show you how much I'm going to do per eye. It is literally that much. It is just like a droplet of water per eye. And you're going to put it from brow to lash line and corner to corner. And it's very smooth and silky. I asked her to take off her mascara on this side so that you could see the difference when we layer them. So nice and smooth, just an easy, even application. The first thing I always do when I'm putting my eyeshadow on is I put the lightest color I'm going to use on first. And you want to do it pretty quickly while the primer's still damp. So the color I'm going to use on the brow bone on the inner corner is called Angelic. And it has a shimmer to it. Get the one that's open. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so it's great to kind of open up and highlight that eye area. And the brush that I'm going to use is the Younique Deluxe brush, and I love this brush. This is the one I use the most. It's just nice and soft and fluffy. It spreads really smooth and easy. So this Angelic is just a very light, almost a white color. What to do with it? There it is. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but you can see it's almost a white. It's almost got a yellow touch to it, which is pretty for highlighting and opening up that eye area. It's not a dark or dramatic color. So I'm just going to put a little bit right there on the brow bone. You can see I'm starting on the inner corner right there, and I'm just pulling it all the way out. Now I'm going to ask you to tilt forward just a little bit. Again, that might not be the most comfortable of ways to sit, but you can see just a tiny bit of shimmer. And then I'm going to take this color Sexy. It's my favorite. It's kind of a soft, almost a nude, peachy, skin-colored with shimmer, baby. Mama likes the shimmer, so we are going to use some of that. And that one is the one that is empty, so I might have to open this just in a second. You can hear the treadmill in the background. That's my husband running. I said, we're going to play with makeup, and he disappeared. It's kind of normal, right, Ash? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here is my Sexy. I'm going to put it all over the lid, especially on that inner corner. I'm really going to focus it on that inner corner. And this is a shimmer as well, but none of these are just crazy slap happy shimmers. So you can see it's just a real light natural look. So there's not a whole lot of anything there. And then for an everyday look, I would just use a little bit of contour. So I've actually got a couple of grays that I'm going to use and a black. And the first one that I'm going to use is called Risque, and it's just a light slate color. Now, when I do a smoky, because of my skin tone and my hair color, I tend to use more browns than anything else. And Ashlyn likes to use the darks. She plays with a lot of browns, but she also uses a lot of grays and blacks, so she'll like this. The brush that I'm going to use for this part is a Younique brush as well. It's the liner shader brush, so one side has the shader and one side has the liner, which is blue because I used it this morning with some blue on my own eye. So I'm going to use the shader side, and I'm going to create kind of a C. Remember, this is for an everyday. So I'm going to brush it in, tilt towards me so I can see just a little bit. I'm going to brush it into that crease line area right there and just across the lid, but I'm not going to take the color on the inside. This is a daytime look, so I don't want it to look really dark. I just want it nice and light and shaded on the outer half, but then take that color into the crease right there and just blend it out. With the darker colors, it's always best to start a light touch and go in and layer and add as you want. But I love these eyeshadows because they're mineral, and so they blend like super, super easy. There's no hard work on this. So even if you get too much on there, it's super easy to go in and just buff it and blend it out. So this is the really light gray color. Ashlyn, open your eye and look at that so they can see. You can see how I've just kind of followed the shape of her crease, and I've colored in along there and then filled in on the lid all over right there. But I did not go in this area here. So that was the risque. Next, I'm going to go in with the Corrupted, which is a little darker gray, a little sassier. And if I were doing a day look, this is probably what I would use in the outer corner, and I would stop. So I'm going to do that first. The brush I'm going to use is the Crease Brush by Younique. And this is a nice, it's kind of more of a compact round brush. When you put dark on that, always blow. If you don't blow, you're going to spend a lot more time blending. And you want to make like a V with this, right on the outer corner right here. Kind of hard to do. Upside down and backwards. And you hear my dogs carrying on. Jake, Cooper. Hey, lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Real life, y'all. Okay, so let me see you. Look at me. Yeah, so that's really pretty. So a trick is a Q-tip. Start at the lash line, drag up to the brow, and clean up any color that would escape down there. So, Ashlyn, open your eyes. That's what I would call a day look, just a kind of a natural, easy to do, usually pretty quick. Take the blender brush that you started with, the deluxe brush, and buff it all out, and it makes it nice and natural looking. And then put a liner, which I'll do in a few minutes. Sass it up with a little bit of colored liner if you like. Lean close and close your eye, baby, and let them see that. Tilt your chin up. You can see I really faded that color out. It's not very dark or intense, and there's no dramatic line anywhere. So go ahead and open your eye, Angel. It's just a little extra oomph, right? So that's daytime. So now I'm going to give it a little sass. So I'm going to use the same colors that I did before. The last thing that I'm going to do is go back in over with the Sexy and the Angelic. So I'm just going to set those to the side and leave those where they are. But I'm also going to take this color that I didn't use for daytime because I didn't go as dark. This one's called Vulnerable, and it's kind of a pale pink. I'm actually going to put a touch of this right on the very center of the lid, because one of the things with dark smoky eyes is you tend to get a little too ash colored sometimes. And when that happens, you lose flesh tone in your makeup. So a trick is just to put a little bit of flesh tone back in, and it keeps you from looking smacked. So I'm going to go back in with the Risque, the lighter gray that I started with. And I'm going to use the shader brush, and I'm going to just be a little more heavy-handed with it this time. And this time I'm probably going to go maybe 2/3 of the way, but I'm not going to go all the way into that inner corner at all. Bath time down there. Tilt your chin down. You can see the difference already just with that gray. When you're doing a smoky eye, the most important thing is blend, blend, blend. So now I'm going to go back with the Corrupted, which is what I used as a crease and contour color for a daytime look, but I'm going to use it as more of an accent color for a smoky eye. So you can see the C that I've been creating. I'm going to go just under that C and create a V on the outer lid right there. So the outer half is where I'm really focusing that color. Then I'm going to take Devious, and Devious is a dark color. It's almost a black. Actually, it probably is a black. And it's got a little shimmer to it. And then I'm going to take that contour color, the crease brush, and I'm really going to sass out this outer corner. Turn towards me a little while I do this. And when you do the smoky eye, start light and go intense. If you really want intensity, you can use the rose water and create a wet color. Look at that way so they can see what I'm doing just a little bit. But I'm not going to do that just for the sake. We have large golden retrievers. They're our babies, and they're right here at her feet, and it's bath time now. So I'm really sorry. So you can see the intensity already increasing on that color. And if you ever feel like you get too dark on the inner corner there, you just take that original deluxe brush and you drag that color out and blend it a little bit. And then just go back in and continue to smoke that puppy up. Look towards me, baby, I can't see. Always keeping that eyebrow clean. The eyebrow bone clean. You never want the color to go too far up. And then we'll actually go back with Q-tip and clean up around. So I'm going to smoke out along the line, the lash line a little bit. And then just blend. And then I'm going to go back in, remember the vulnerable, that flesh tone color that I was using, the pink one, looks like that. I'm going to add a little warmth to the very center of that lid. And I'm also going to use this color to kind of blend a little bit. You okay? Not poking your contacts out? Remember, this is dramatic. This is more of an evening look. We wouldn't be doing this for every day unless we were feeling, you know, really, really sassy. Which could happen, right? Ashlyn's a performer too, so sassy happens. We need a shirt that says that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take that angelic, and I'm really going to open up that inner corner. Oops, that's the close one. The inner corner and the brow bone with this angelic. I like this one because it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. So it does a great job of really opening up that eye. And if I really wanted to spark this up, I would get some rose water and mix it and make it a little bit of cream so that it's a little more shimmery and a little sassier with that color. But I'm going to keep it where I started originally. The goal is just to blend it out a little bit. So tilt forward and let them get a good look at that. Notice there's not a hard line anywhere, and if you see one, then go back in and blend it out. One of the things I really don't like to see on women, I got devious all over your face. One of the things I really don't like to see on women is the dark line. So when you're working with mineral eyeshadows, fallout is always an issue. So Angel, look up at the ceiling. I'm going to drag a Q-tip, and this is very important. Drag it up and clean that corner up, and then I'm actually going to take a brush. Look up, Angel. I won't poke you, I promise. And I'm going to clean up with a concealer brush. You got to look up or I'm going to hit your lashes. Open your eyes and look at the ceiling. There you go. And clean up any fallout that happens. So the brush that I just used is the foundation brush. This is probably my favorite brush. I use this one more than anything, and I use it for concealer, really, more than I do anything else. So you can see I've just cleaned up that all the way over there. So now comes the liner. This is the fun part. I'm going to show you, I promised you last night I would show you these liners. These are the Precision Liners by Younique. They are amazing. Are they not amazing? Oh, I missed a spot. Clean it up. It's like you have black on your chin. How did you get it down there? Probably me moving you around. Okay, so Younique just released this pencil sharpener, which is amazing. And you think, pencil sharpener, what's the big deal with pencil sharpener? This sharpens these to a round point, and it takes off a very, very fine layer of wood. My mom is using Younique, and she likes these pencils because they're smooth and they're creamy and they don't tug, and she put it on. But her sharpener was chewing them up, and she said, I feel like I'm wasting all of this pencil. So I got her one of these for Christmas. It was $7, y'all. $7 for this. Makes these last like crazy. I've had this one. Look at this. I've had this one since, I think I got this in November. I got the kit in November for the pencils. And I use it all the time. Now, I use the brown one more than anything, the proper. And let me just show you that one so you can get an idea of the sizing. I sharpen it almost every time I use it. There's not a whole lot of difference in length there. Can you see that? So they last. If you use them every day and you take care of them, you're not gonna wear through them as fast as you would some of the less expensive brands. But for smoky eye, I'm going to use the Perfect. It's black, it's smooth, it's creamy. I'm gonna run it through my sharpener really quick and get a nice fresh start. And then I'll grab a towel. I have that on me. And get it all over you. The secret to the smoky eye is the liner. Because of the shape of hers and mine's eyes, we tend not to go very heavy on the inner corner with the liner, but on the outer corner, all bets are off. You make that puppy as dark and as far out as you want to go. Eyes on me. Close again. And then I usually, if I'm doing a smoky, I'll go farther in than normal, but I'll always go back with a Q-tip or something and soften that inner corner so that there's not a real hard smacked line there. Look at me. Okay, lean forward and let them see that, and then I'm going to wing it a little more. Look up at the ceiling. You can see how I went past her lid. That's the secret to wide eyes, y'all. Wing it out. Just a little bit, but it makes a big difference. All right, lean back, baby. Look up at the ceiling. Remember, this is sassy, smoky. And the very last thing, most important thing, Q-tip. Drag it up. And this really makes a huge difference, doesn't it, Ash? Mm-hmm. So if you wanted to go in, you could go in with a Q-tip, or you could go in with the liner side of this brush and soften that on the bottom especially. So I'm going to do that now. Just smoke it out a little bit. Close. I'm going to do it on the inner corner as well. Now turn towards me and look just a little so I can check the wing. Okay, close again. I'm going to wing it just a little more for fun. Look at me. Look at that camera. Sassy, sassy. Smoked does not mean smacked. You do not have to be black from inner corner to outer corner and top to bottom in order to be smoky. That, with the lashes she's about to put on for you, I'm going to stop that and start a separate tutorial for that. But you'll see the finished product at the end of that, so be sure you watch that. But that, plus some red gloss, updo, sassy dress, we're rocking it, right? Okay, there you go. Daytime look to a smoky look. We'll add the liner, we'll add the lashes in just a second. So hang tight and we'll see you in a few.